Good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to be here today with all of you to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of all the young scientists, engineers, and inventors in this room, our brilliant Regeneron ISEF finalists. Congratulations. A long, long time ago, give those guys a hand. A long, long time ago, in a place far, far away, I was a little like you guys. I was focusing my life on a high school science project. Anybody out there have any idea what my science project was about? I heard it out there. Regeneration. Do you guys know that we named our company Regeneron out of our shared interest in regeneration? And after we took over the sponsorship of both the Science Talent Search and ISEF, they were named after Regeneron. But if you really think about it, the name harkens back to a high school science project. That's pretty crazy, right? Pretty cool. And I think pretty appropriate. People ask me a lot why Regeneron puts so much effort and has committed over $100 million into collaborating with Society for Science on the Science Talent Search and on ISEF. Part of the reason is what I just told you. Both me and my longtime partner and co-founder of Regeneron, Len Schleifer, got our starts in these very science competitions, which literally changed our lives and put us on our paths to careers in science. But it goes deeper than that, in that we realize the challenges humanity faces going forward are only getting bigger and more existential. From climate change to disease and pandemics, from food shortages to potential threats of artificial intelligence. And we realize that we all have to do much more to inspire and engage and support the best young minds of the next generation to address these challenges, because the very survival of our species depends on it. You are those best young minds, and you have so much potential. But with that potential comes great responsibility to literally save our world and create a better future. It's hard to imagine a greater or more significant responsibility. I tried to think about what I might be able to say to you in my brief time this morning that might somehow help you in your future efforts. And I thought about sharing 2 points that I have realized have helped me achieve some of the things that I've achieved in science. First, although we are here today to celebrate your successes, I want to instead focus on failure, on the importance of risking and experiencing failure. As you heard a little bit about in my introduction, over the last 10 years or so, many have said Regeneron has had the most impressive streak of drug discovery in the history of the biotech industry, with 10, not 9, approved medicines for over 30 diseases. 30 diseases. From the world's leading treatment to prevent blindness, to the world's leading biologic for allergic diseases like asthma and atopic dermatitis, to innovative breakthrough approaches for cancer and neurodegenerative diseases. But Regeneron did not start out as a success story. Both Len and I actually left very successful academic positions at universities to start a very small company from scratch. People thought we were crazy from the beginning. But after a few years, they thought we were even crazier. Why? Because they thought we were failing. We were losing money every year, and not just for 1 or 2 years, but for over 20 years. People wondered how we kept the company alive, and why would we bother? It was because we thought that during this period of apparent failure to the outside world, we were constantly creating and testing new technologies that we hoped could change the future. We were learning which failed and why they failed, and we were constantly reinventing around these failures until we had finally created the world's most powerful technologies that could create new medicines in ways that no one had ever imagined before. So it was out of the darkness of 20 years of risk and failure that one of the great biotech companies in history finally emerged. A company that you heard many others have said is perhaps the most innovative biotech company in history. So I believe there's a lesson in there that to build something truly new and different, you have to take the time. You have to take the risks. You have to experience and overcome great failures. The Regeneron story reminds me of an ancient Chinese proverb that goes something like, "The strongest steel is forged in the fires of hell." So my first point to you is don't just look for the easiest path to quick success, but consider taking greater risks. Learn to deal with and reinvent around failures, and commit for the long term to your dreams, because ultimately the longest and hardest path might lead to the greatest and most meaningful future. And this leads me to my second point, which I hope you guys will appreciate as somewhat related to what I just told you. Over the last couple of years, we have all heard many times the admonition that we must all believe in the science or trust the scientists. I don't know what you all thought when you heard that, but I believe you should all have been infuriated. Belief is for your faith in God. But the first principle of science is that you should not believe anything, but you should instead challenge everything. You need to do experiments to generate the data to determine what the truth actually is. Think about it. The only reasons we have made any discoveries in science is because someone was brave enough to challenge what the wise men and scientists of the time believed. The most important discoveries of my life that have led to new medicines that have treated millions only occurred because I did not believe what all the other trusted scientists believe. That's how you make discoveries and change the science. So that's my second piece of advice to you. In so many fields of science, everybody is convinced and believe the same thing. Don't necessarily believe what everyone else believes. Challenge the dogma. Don't go into the hot fields that everyone else is going into. If they're all right that those are the hot fields, they don't need you to go along for the ride. But if they're wrong and you go in a different direction, you can change the world. Now, I don't want you to misinterpret my advice about taking risks and facing failure and about challenging dogma. I'm not talking about doing it mindlessly, taking pointless risks, and foolishly challenging everything. But what I am talking about is always thinking, always imagining when it might be worthwhile to challenge the dogma, when taking a different path could unlock entirely new possibilities. It's about taking calculated risks that make some sense and might have important ramifications. I truly believe that each of you here have the potential to make a profound and positive impact. But I urge you not to simply take the simplest and easiest path to quick success. Challenge your own and each other's beliefs and assumptions. Look beyond the surface and consider the underlying causes and motivations behind the things that you see and experience. Take risks, be willing to fail, and always challenge the dogma. Push the boundaries of science to the edge and keep pushing that edge further and further forward. We need you to use all of your potential to achieve the truly amazing and extraordinary things that you're all capable of. The very future of humanity depends on it. Thank you for what you will do. I thank you for what you will do for our world, and be sure that I will be watching with great anticipation. Thank you very much.